exactly well furnished. On that paper. Hello, Edna, love. You've been a long time at the shops.
Is Harry not back from his walk yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh. So he hasn't seen that piece about Grace in the paper?
Grace's obituary, no.
Oh. Do you know, if ever I'm back late from anywhere, Harry always insinuates that I've been to the betting office. He's got a very suspicious nature.
So where have you been, Edna?
Oh, the betting office. Well, I was passing the shops. You know, Ralph, my luck's right out.
Gigi's running backwards again, Holly.
I picked 2 horses I liked, but £5 on the first one, it lost. When I came to back the other, well, I'd only got coppers in my purse. 6 to 1 it won. I was livid.
You know what you need, Edna?
Yes, a bowl of hot water to put my toes in before they drop off.
No, what I was saying yesterday, I think a credit account would be more rewarding in the long run.
Oh, I don't know.
Look, that bookie I was telling you about, open till 5:30. Why don't you give him a buzz now, before Harry comes back?
It does make sense, an account.
Well, I'm not pushing you like Edna, but I know what I'd do if I was in your shoes. Oh, sorry.
Would you like a cuppa before we have our tea?
Hey, you stay put. Rest your weary bones. I'll be mother, and I'll put this lot away. Now rest.
Oh, you are good, Ralph.
Oh, Edna, no offence, like, but the decorating in this room leaves a lot to be desired. Have you given any thought to changing it?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because Harry and me were talking about it only this morning.
Well, I'm your man, then. Think about it, Edna. 2 cups of rosy, coming up.
Hello? Pat, I might have known it'd be you. I haven't been anywhere. I was just running a bath. What makes you think that? I mean, it was just a stupid key rammed down my throat. What did you ring for anyway? 8:15, terrific. No, she's not back till 9. Look, if there's nothing else, my hair's dripping wet and I'm running a bath.
No, honest, Edna, I'd make a first-class job of it for you.
Well, I would like it brightened up, but I don't want to impose. Not after, well, you know.
Oh, don't talk daft. You wouldn't be imposing. You'd be doing me a favour.
A favour?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, Edna, I'd go around the twist just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, while I'm here, I might as well make myself useful. Earn me keep, like, you know. What do you say?
Well, I know Harold wanted it done, and he can't do it himself.
Well, then.
Well, what exactly would you do?
Well, it depends how you'd want it done. I mean, with certain colours and textures. I could make it smaller or bigger. Certainly cosier.
Bigger?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Oh, I'd like that. I've not regretted moving here, mind. But it does seem poky compared to the other house.
So you'd let me do it, then?
Why not?
Oh, smacking. And I know just where I'll start, too.
Well, that wallpaper would be a good beginning.
Edna, love, you took the words right out of me mouth. I mean, look at it. Hills and trees. If we had a basket, we could picnic on it. And as for that, it still looks like a wimpy sight, all that gravel. Oh, I could spruce that up for your good style. Flowers, a rockery, the works. Maybe even a little wishing well, unless you preferred a pond.
Oh, a pond? Could we have goldfish in it?
Edna, love, it'd be your pond. You can have saltfish in it if you like.
I just hope this biker's disco isn't what I think it's going to be.
Well, you know what they say, when you expect one thing, it usually turns out quite different.
Yeah, you probably have a great time. Stay on this side.
Why?
Because that's Harry Cross, the nosy neighbour. If he gets chatting, we'll be here till Boxing Day.
Hello, girls. Wait a minute.
Cool. Hello, Mr. Cross.
Hello, love.
Well, what do you want?
Who's this, then?
She's Bernadette, a friend.
Pleased to meet you.
We'll have to,
Haven't seen you down here before, have I?
Well,
I've known Bernadette for years on a casual basis, Mr. Cross. We're up to sixth form. We just got together because we share a common interest.
Lads.
Study.
I see.
So if you've no more questions, we're off to the disco.
Bit early, aren't you?
Well, we were.
Very funny.
we're going to Karen's boyfriend's to listen to some records first, Mr. Cross.
Well, don't let me stop you.
Try, Mr. Cross.
Bye.
Aye. Oh, Karen, do you know if the nurses are in?
Oh, we're on late, I think.
Karen! Sheds.
What, Ralph?
Oh, this scraper's just about had it.
No, about the other thing.
Oh, yeah, well, I thought while I'm here, I could busy myself with all the other jobs round the house. Tile the bathroom, you name it.
I thought you were going to do the pond first.
Oh, yeah, well, I couldn't do that till the spring, till the better weather comes.
Oh, I see.
So while I'm here, I'll do all the other jobs around the house.
You know, Rolf, it's just like the old days with you around.
How long do you think you're staying for, the duration? And what's all this, then?
Ralph's offered to do the decorating, with your permission, of course.
Oh, it looks like it. Well, listen, woman, if I wanted decorating, I'll get the professionals.
I'm as good as any tradesman, Harry.
Oh, nothing personally against you, Ralph, but...
And I'll do it free of charge.
Nothing.
Well, just the cost of the materials, which I can get for a song wholesale. I know this bloke in the trade, see.
Oh. Well, that's different. Carry on, Ralph.
Ralph, show Harry Grace's obituary.
Oh, yeah. Don't take it out the cover, Harry. I'm trying to keep it clean. However, I think I'll just nip home and get my own scraper and a few other tools as well.
What about your tea?
Well, I'll have it later on if that's all right with you.
Oh, fine.
Good.
Very touching, Ralph. You've done Grace proud. Very touching words.
Thanks, Harry. So Edna said. Look, we'll have a natter after about the decorating, eh?
Decorating? Oh, yeah.
See you later, then. I'm off, Edna.
All right, Ralph.
Poor son. What a way to... Painless, anyway.
Harold, any bread with your tea?
Hey, Edna. I've just been reading about this fella. He fell asleep watching the telly, and he never woke up. He was only 66.
Same age as you.
Oh, shut up, will you, woman?
Well, I didn't mean it.
Here, forget it.
Where are you going?
Reconnaissance mission.
What do you mean? Place your bets from the comfort of your armchair.
frightened the life out of me.
I gave you a fright. Look at this. I've got a bad ticker, you know.
Damn about your heart, Mr. Cross.
That's very nice coming from a nurse, isn't it?
What are you doing in here? You're snooping around our kitchen. Now, come on, I'm waiting.
Well, I wanted to borrow a cup of sugar, so I came over, and the door was open, so...
You're a bloody liar. The door was not open. You came in here for a nosy. Now, for the last time, how did you get in? Have you got a key?
Don't you talk like that to me. This is my house.
Your house is maybe, but it doesn't give you the right to start invading people's privacy. Now, before I throw you out, have you got a spare key to this house?
That's for me to know and you to find out, isn't it?
Right. Two can play at that game if that's the way you want it.
Are all you Scots bitchy and stubborn like this?
No, but we are determined. And you are not moving from here till you tell me what I want to know.
Right. We'll be here all day then, won't we?
Yeah, who is it? Late, aren't you? 5 o'clock, you said.
Yeah, well, it takes a bit longer when you're walking.
All right, things that bad, Addy.
What happened to your hair?
What's wrong with my hair?
None.
After the job you said on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. I know you said you had nothing going in the club, but I thought with your connections...
Oh, and why should I help you, eh?
Well, we are sort of past acquaintances, aren't we?
Yeah, like thieves to passing the night.
Well, look, you know, like I said on the phone, that's all behind me now.
Leopards can't change their spots, Barry.
Well, this one can. And Cardle doesn't know it yet, but he knocked some sense into me.
I hear he belted you in Walton and you landed in Anfield.
Can you help us, Will? Anything?
If I couldn't, you wouldn't be here now. You are a carpenter, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Why do you know anything going in that line?
Billy Harper. Business acquaintance of mine. He's a subcontractor on the building, amongst other things. He's just landed a deal fitting out a load of shops for a chain store. And he's looking for good workers.
Oh, well, hey, just point me in his direction, eh, Will? I'll go and see him now.
Do you know the White Lion?
The one in Cressy Street, you mean?
He'll be there at 8 tonight. He's playing in the darts final. Mention my name. No, better still. I'll phone him for you. I want to work with him anyway.
All right, thanks. How will I know him, Will?
Oh, you can't miss Billy. You'll be surprised when you see him.
Why, what's up with him?
You'll find out. Tip, don't bull him. He's razor sharp.
Number 6, Brookside Close. Yes, that's right. When will I get the application form? Oh, fine. Yes, I hope my first pet's a winner, too.
Thrown out of my own house.
Bye.
Who was that?
Wrong number.
So was that bloody Sandra.
He just stood there, Pat. I kept asking him repeatedly, did he have a key to the house? And all he says is, you'll get tired of asking before I get tired of waiting. God, that man's the absolute limit.
Yeah, I was saying, get this down, you love. Might help. God, he's really shook you up, hasn't he?
Shoot me. See, when I saw that figure in the kitchen, I nearly fainted. I don't know what I'd done if he'd been a real burglar.
So what happened then?
Well, if he could wait there all night, I certainly couldn't. He refused to tell me how he got in, so I threw him out.
Metaphorically?
Physically. See, I was bungling him out the door. He says, ranting on about something how he used to be a boxer.
So what are we going to do about him, eh? Can't go on like this.
I hope not. My nerves couldn't stand it.
Yeah, but what bugs me is, Sam, how did he get in the first place?
With a key, obviously.
Yeah, I know. But how could he possibly have a key to the new lock? Unless he saw me put your key under the mat.
That sounds logical to me.
Yeah. Supposing he's had a spare maid. Problem now is, how do we get it back off him?
I tell you one thing, Pat. You won't get it off him if you're aggressive.
Oh, I know. That's a tried and tested failure. It's tactics I need, Sam. Hey, I could try embarrassing him to give me the key.
Embarrassing him? How?
Well, he's the original penny pincher, right? Anything for nothing, something he can't resist.
Yeah.
All I've got to do is dangle the freebie and hope he takes a bait.
They're all young fellas like you. Are you a minority?
Oh, so what's your idea of fun, eh, sweetheart? Tucking your skirt down your knickers and playing two-ball against a jigger wall, eh?
Today's the bowl when life's a bold, eh?
What?
You know what.
It's just his way, isn't it, brother? One is, do like a laugh.
Oh, are ya? Oh, I mean, who doesn't? Always be known for your sense of humour. And my worldly wide knowledge. Right.
Don't really know us. Talked a lot of nonsense we've been in.
Oh, where'd you find her, Andy?
Where'd you find you? You're here.
Oh, sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Come here.
Sorry.
Come on, dance. Oh, come on. Before I say something nasty that might hurt someone.
Look, nothing you can say could possibly hurt me.
Look, don't think you can pull one over on me. I'll touch you out the minute you walk through that door with your nose in the air. If you wasn't Andy's bit of stuff, I'd have smacked in the face an hour ago. And so to watch you live. So don't try and goad me into losing my temper. Because it won't wash. I don't lose my cool that easy. Hey, do you know why they call me Bummer? Well, do you?
No, but I guess it's because you look like you just survived a nuclear attack.
Don't say you haven't heard it. It's a stay.
Come on.
We're going to hear a lot more of it as it climbs. Now for you giants of heavy metal.
Well, thanks for your support, Andrew.
He isn't right, though. You have been having a go at him.
I never me, and you. You haven't said boo.
Look, he's new mate, isn't he?
And what am I? Eh?
No. Do you fancy a dance?
Not right now, thank you.
Now, look, don't talk in riddles. What if she was in a bathrobe?
Now, listen, Mr. C. It was very embarrassing for Sandra.
Oh, I've got it now. Well, on your bike. Do you hear him, Edna? He's putting a slur on my good character.
He's not, Harold.
No, look, you've misunderstood me. I implied nothing sexual.
I mean, like, he's well past that sort of how-do-you-do, aren't you, Harry?
I thought you were stripping.
I didn't know that he'd been in your house
My house?
till he came back. Now give Pat the key back.
Oh, so you have got a key then, Mr. C?
Big mouth.
And the way he got it, he took it from underneath the doormat.
Judas. That's the last time I'll confide in you, woman. Now, you're gonna make the tea or what?
Oh.
And you're still not getting it. You had no right to change that lock without my permission. I'm the owner, and I've got reasonable access. So you know what you can do, don't you?
Yeah, on reflection, you're right, Mr. C. I'm being, well, obstinate.
Eh?
Well, as you said, it is your property. You should have a key. Look, I'm sorry I've been making a nuisance of myself, especially to a man in your delicate condition. Anyway, I'll be getting back to the house
Hey,
now.
hang about. What do you mean, a man in my condition?
Well, I don't want to alarm you, like. It's just something the girls and I were discussing.
Go on, then, spit it out.
Well, we were thinking it might be a good idea if we had a key to your bungalow.
Behave yourself. What for?
Well, we thought, what with your bad art, I mean, say anything happened, God forbid. We'd hate to think of you all alone in a bungalow calling for help and Sandra and Kate stuck outside and able to get in.
He's right, you know, Harry. In the time it'd take to smash your window and get to you, it could be too late.
Well, I appreciate that, Pat.
Well, you are a neighbour, Mr. C. If you're ever in need of the girls, just you say.
That's very thoughtful of you. There you go.
Oh, Tar. Listen, don't worry about paying for the spare. I'll pay. Well, to tell you the truth, it'll cost me nothing. There's this guy at the hospital who used to be a locksmith. I can get as many as I want, pay for nothing.
Well, maybe you can get a spare one for the bungalow, for Ralph.
Yeah, OK. In fact, I'm getting a spare each for the girls. Because this guy who makes them is leaving the hospital on Friday, and we thought we'd stock up while they're free.
Tell you what, then. You can get a couple of spares for the house.
I'll tell you what, Mr. C, you never miss a trick, do you?
No, son. Never.
Hello? Speak to Wally, love. Wally Peake, your boss. It's Barry Grant. Yeah, I know we'll be busy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Look, could you just get him for us? Tell him it's important. Yeah, thanks a lot. Hello? Wally? Yeah, sorry to drag you away and all that. It's just, well, you know, I'm in here now and this Billy Harper guy still hasn't turned up. What? Yeah. Of course he hasn't been in. Master Barman's appointed him out to me. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, well, I haven't got anywhere else to go in a hurry, have I?
I'd love to have been there.
I said it'll work, didn't I, Sam? Give him one free key and you can guarantee he'll ask for a bunch of them. But what I really like is he thinks he's pulled a fast one on me.
Serves him right. It's about time he got a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah. Hey, hadn't you better get to bed so you can get some sleep in ready for the emergency?
What emergency?
Well, the way Mr. Cross was checking his art earlier, I'm expecting him to be shouting for help about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That reminds me. I must get up here when I'm out shopping tomorrow.
For what?
Heavy duty earplugs. Mind you, is he not going to want that key back when you take over the spare?
Now this is the ingenious part. I'll get spare keys made of our old lot and give them to him.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I think so. He'll never notice the difference. Well, Not until he tries to get in again, which he won't.
Mind you, it's going to cost you a bit to get all those spares made.
Sergeant, lad, the cost will be worth it knowing it'll keep that old lion out of our den.
Aye, well, me and Kate will chip in. By the way, sorry I blew my top yesterday.
Forget it. Hey, you know, Sam, at last I've got this warm sensation of privacy coming over me.
Very good.
How do you know?
Barman. He said you've been sitting here for the last hour biting your nails.
Yeah, whatever you.
Billy Harper, as far as you're concerned. Yeah. I often have that effect on Caucasians.
Well, he said you were sharp.
He said you were a good joiner.
Yeah, I am. Look, before we go...
To quench your obvious curiosity, no, Billy Harper isn't my given name. My real name isn't important to you.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's your business, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, I've got a darts final in 2 minutes. A silly weakness of mine. So I'll get straight to the point. I employ white people for one reason only. Because I'm a realist. They fit in with the respectable image of my companies. If you work for me, you do so under my terms. Terms you'll find profitable to both of us. You won't deal with me, but with Mr. Williams, my general manager.
Is this all above board, eh? I mean, there's insurance cards and that, yeah?
You're obviously not as desperate for employment as Mr. Peake informed me. Goodbye.
Hey, no, hang on. Look, I am desperate for work. And I am reliable, Billy. Wally will vouch for that.
Mr. Harper, if you work for me, and if you do, when I shout, you jump. Now, what's my name?
Mr. Harper. When can I start?
Tomorrow, if you like.
Yeah, well, that's fine by me, Mr. Harper.
But not by me. Ring me on Monday. I'll see if I can accommodate you.
Hey, but I need to know now if I've got a job.
Monday, I said.
Did he make the early train?
Just. If I'd known it was so cold, I wouldn't have volunteered to take him.
Well, it's given me a chance to go through this before I went in. Thanks.
Are you confident?
I think so. I think I've identified the enemy, at least at my level.
Nigel Bannister?
Nigel, yes. Have a good idea of the tack he'll take at the management meeting?
Surely he's as interested as anyone in keeping costs down.
Oh, yes, as long as he's seen to be doing so. But not when something like this makes other aspects of the operation look too costly. Well, we just have to wait and see.
Will you be late?
Possibly, yes. Will you?
No. I'm having lunch with Mrs. Lyons today.
Oh, the old dear with the grandfather clock.
She's very nice, and I think she'll be glad of the company. She's moved to a new neighborhood.
Well, enjoy yourself. Pity we can't have lunch together ourselves.
Been a long time.
So there's the rest of the week. I might have cause for celebration before too long. Bye.
Bye. Oops, sorry, I've locked you in.
Good morning.
Heather?
Another good reason for having a garage in this weather. You applied yet?
Planning permission, yes.
Can't wait for mine to be built. You've seen that?
Had a knock?
No, it was done the other evening, just about the time I refused to pay up to some so-called carol singers.
Oh, they're damn cheap. Heather's car's been scraped. Deliberately.
Oh, how awful. I was telling Paul, you ought to think seriously about getting a garage.
This morning, I'd rather talk about central heating. If you'll excuse me, Heather, I really must dash. I want to make a phone call before my friend leaves. Bye. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Perhaps you could come in with me.
Sorry?
I mean, with the firm who are building my garage.
For the moment, I thought you were offering me a lift.
No, it makes sense. If we order together, then we can save on delivery and erection costs. I could phone the firm today.
Well, I'd sooner not just yet. Still to hear from the planning department.
Oh, that's just a formality. Can both save on a double order. Look. That's the firm. I think they seem pretty good. And it does increase the value of property, Paul. Next time I try and sell that place, I mean to get the asking price.
Well, perhaps you're right. But I'll think about it.
Well, could you let me know this evening before my order gets lost in the system?
I will.
Thanks.
Well, after you, ladies before gentlemen.
You do a cracking breakfast, Edna. And the pleasure of having it done for you. Of course, over these past few years, all the cooking's been down to me, you know. Well, this won't get the baby washed or the wallpaper bought, will it?
Where are we going?
Oh, that new do-it-yourself supermarket in Egbert. Can you manage?
Yes, I'll be fine.
It says 3 buses, you know.
Oh, it'll be nice to get out.
Tell you what, we'll have a little bet on the way, eh? I fancy that one in the 2:15 stagecoach.
I picked that as well.
Oh, like mine, eh? Tell you the truth, pal of mine told me to watch out for that, you know.
Inside information?
Oh, I'm saying nothing, but it's a good one. If Grace's money was through, the insurance, I'd risk a few bob on it.
Would you?
Oh, no danger.
That's it then. I'll put 30 to win.
30 quid? This wallpaper and paint'll stuff will cost 12 to 15 pounds.
I've got my account through.
With the bookies? Oh, smashing. No missing the winners now, eh, Edna? Have you used it yet?
No.
Paul. Oh, Richard. You're off the beaten track, aren't you?
I am. Playing leg man on this Crosby business.
Oh, that.
Do you know Fredericks never checked properly? He never even took up Crosby's references.
Fredericks?
It's a lunatic of a personnel manager before Ken Watson.
Well, I never met him.
Oh, you're lucky. The man should have been sacked years ago. I've been checking through the files you have down there. Not a sausage. Crosby provided 3 referees. There isn't even a note of a phone call anywhere. Of course, that could be something to do with Ken Watson's new broom tactics.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Crosby's on notice.
Well, it's never that simple, Paul.
The man wasn't up to his job. I've no need of an installation engineer who can't do more than the basics. The plant engineer's behind me.
Yes, but, well, Crosby seems to have had some personal problems. The union's not going to let it pass by that easily, and Crosby's certainly been talking to them.
Well, that's as may be. But I had the strongest possible complaint from his colleagues. Crosby doesn't do another hand's turn on this plant. Not while I'm plant manager.
So, Ken Watson's not the only new recruit who likes to push his way. I mean this late agenda item for the management meeting.
New recruit I may be, but not without experience, Richard.
Hello? Is Billy Harper there? All right, Mr. Harper. He's not in. Well, he told me to ring this morning. What, not till this afternoon? Well, could you tell him? Hello? Hello?
It is odd that the year before last, management consultants could find no fault with our maintenance setup.
Well, I'm unaware of their criteria. What I am aware of is this. 20 man-hours and nearly £150 on one breakdown, and we have hundreds every year. It's ridiculous.
It's an internal charge, Paul. Parent company on subsidiary.
Yes, and the subsidiary has to pay. My subsidiary. I know your objections, Nigel. I knew them before this matter came on today's agenda. Perhaps I see the balance sheet from another point of view.
Meaning what?
I don't see why this subsidiary should become some sort of sin eater for the parent company. As long as it looks good on paper, forget the waste of resources.
I think we're getting away from the point.
This is the point.
Yes, yes, but I have personal experience of bringing in private contractors. Obviously...
They'll want access to the stores, you'll have no control over pilfering. Perhaps you'd like to look at the balance sheet that way, Paul.
Obviously, industrial relations are my principal concern. The last time I witnessed the introduction of an outside firm, it led to a 10-week strike. My former company lost over $4 million. $4 million in lost production for a saving of, what, $100,000 a year. Well, I'm sure that none of us would want to witness that sort of consequence.
This operation's far smaller than your former company, Richard. I'm not suggesting sackings. Natural wastage, plus the use of an outside company. That's the way I see as bringing maintenance costs down to a sensible level.
But the men won't see it that way.
Well, surely they can see the sense in running a viable company.
Will they? You tell us you've taken informal soundings on costing with some of these outside firms. I've done the same with the chief engineer. I dare not approach the unions. They'd see it as the thin end of some management wedge. In their terms, job's on the line.
Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to run scared of the unions.
It's not a question of that. It's a question of making a sensible management decision, bearing in mind all the factors we've been discussing this morning.
Here.
I'm sure we would all agree on that, wouldn't we? The way I see it is that we do not want to precipitate or provoke in any way the workforce out there. I don't think one of us would want to be suspected cases of McGregor fever.
I've been hanging around for hours. Can't you tell me if I've got the job or not? What? Another 2 hours? Is that definite? Yeah, all right.
With respect, Chairman, I think we've exhausted this business, and I've got 2 further matters I'd like to raise.
Yes, Paul's impressed us with his detailed figures, but he still hasn't told us how he plans to get his proposals past the union.
He won't.
Thank you, Richard. It's quite simple. We tie it in with the next pay award.
That's already in motion.
That's right. We have a meeting at the end of the month.
And we're offering 4.5%?
Well, that's not settled yet. We've got to look at that again. There may be room for a little more.
Well, they've asked for 12%, haven't they?
Totally unreasonable.
I didn't expect them to ask for less.
But they'll accept 5.5%.
With a little reluctance.
Then I suggest we put it to the regional board tomorrow that we go to 6%.
6%?
I leave the exact figures to others. But I suggest we run the pay offer with the extra 0.5%, with a clause making it conditional that maintenance accept the appointment of an outside firm.
But that will eat up your savings on your maintenance costs.
My principal concern, as I've told you all, is efficiency. I've increased outside customers by 200%. With the extra efficiency, I can keep on increasing outside sales.
Well, yes, I'll go along with that. It's open to whether the unions will, of course, but I think it's worth a try. Presumably, we'd go out to tender.
There's no shortage of likely firms within a 20-mile radius. Oh, can I put that forward as a proposal for tomorrow?
I'd support that.
Very well, Paul.
down, Edna. Calm down.
Calm down with a 4-1 winner in a photo finish.
Look, let's have a cup of tea, then ring up.
I want to know now.
Oh, it'll be all right. That T-Sin Ling came in a bit too late by the sound of it. Now, don't worry.
Hello. This is Mrs. Cross speaking. Yes, account number 21972. Yes, that's right. Can you tell me what won? T-Sin Ling.
I'll get that tea hot and strong.
Can you tell me how my account stands? Down 160.
That's defo. Oh, sound, Mr. Harper. Yeah. Without Sovies, even. Oh, great, thanks, Mr. Harper. Yeah. Wednesday I can start. Thanks a lot, Mr. Harper. Yeah, well, I'll pick up the van then. Yeah, I'll call round. OK. Right. Thanks again, Mr. Harper. Bye, Mr. Harper. 3 bags flaming full, Mr. Harper.
Hello, Paul.
Sorry to bother you, but I promise I'll let you know.
Oh, about the garage.
Yes, I've decided to take your advice. 1 brochure and a cheque for the deposit. I'll leave you to order, shall I?
That's great. You'll see the sense of it.
I certainly will. Now, let me know when you need more.
Will you have a drink?
Oh, no, not for me, thanks. Now I'm back in the swing, something I'm trying to cut out. I know the temptations of old in my line of work. Oh, Aaron, I thought you might like to join us for dinner, but smells good. Lasagna?
Moussaka. Tell Anna thanks very much, I've got company tonight.
Oh, all right.
Are you sure you won't have a drink?
Oh.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Hello.
How's my favourite accountant?
You've met Paul, my next-door neighbour. This is Dr. Stuart Griffiths.
Pat Hancock's party.
Yes, that.
Yes, your wife was the one.
Yes, Annabelle.
Well, I think I'd better be going.
You sure you won't stay and have a drink?
Good idea.
No, not for me. I'll go while the going's good.
That's what I said when I left the hospital. I haven't picked up any wine, sorry.
Oh, don't worry, I've got plenty. Thanks for letting me know about the garage.
I'll let you know when my planning permission comes through.
Great. Bye-bye, Paul.
Bye.
What a day. I'm shattered. I can't believe I'm actually here.
Well, I hope you like moussaka.
All I ever eat is canteen beans on toast.
Oh.
Well, 1 garage ordered.
Well, I hope it's all right. Not like the Cross's fence.
If it is, I'll write to Robin Tate's ratepayers.
Is she coming over?
No. She's got far more interesting company.
Really?
That young doctor. I met him at next door's Halloween party.
Don't think I remember him.
Mm.
Anyway, glad to see that she's... Well, she's been a bit depressed lately. Long time since her marriage. Well, I just hope that she can find...
Yes, I know what you mean. She deserves a little happiness.
Right, ready to eat then?
Oh, I thought I'd have a drink. Did you want one?
Go on. How many hours a week do you work?
Well, I don't keep a count. 50, 60.
Sounds like a holiday to me. When it reaches 80, then you'll know what pressure is.
I know already, Stuart.
You've just finished your turn. 12 hours, and your bleeper goes in the car park. You've got a teenager with a stomach full of downers, a factory worker with an arm in ribbons, and it seems there's been a brawl in every pub in the city. You've got to turn round and walk back in for another dose of it. That's pressure.
Mine's different, but I suppose it's as bad. I mean, I have to break appointments. Our clients are big. I may have planned a weekend off and then suddenly find myself going to, well, In the last 6 months, I've been to Carlisle, Sheffield, Guernsey.
Jet set.
It doesn't sound much, but when the pressure's on, 8 hours going through the balance sheets and all the rest of it, and then the rest of the time spent socialising and being very polite to the clients.
All that eating and socialising. Must be hell.
It can be.
Sounds like a holiday too to me.
Well, my next big one won't be. It's in Birmingham.
When?
In a few weeks' time. Got 2 days briefing in Manchester next week.
But you enjoy it?
Oh, yes.
No regrets of joining the big time?
You think I'm silly?
Silly?
Health grounds. Since I started to work at H&D, I've put on pounds. It's not that I don't think about exercise. I do. It's just after a hard day's work, I'm just too tired.
Well, I know all about that. Dedicated to health, that's me and my colleagues. But we're probably the unhealthiest lot in Liverpool.
Well, I had to buy 2 new dresses today. Had to. My others wouldn't fit me. But you missed the spectacle. That's your fault for being too early.
You look fine to me as you are.
I'm not fit. Excuse me. Hello? Yes, could you just hold on a moment? It's for you.
Oh. Hello? Brian? What's wrong? Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll get down. Yeah, see you. I've got to go back. Blood and guts on the East Lancs Road.
But you can't. You're too tired. I saw it the minute you walked in.
Like I said, that's pressure.
And what use are you going to be to anyone? You're worn out.
It's the job, just the job.
Did you make this?
No, Mrs. Lyons.
Oh. Lyons cakes, eh?
Sorry? Oh, very funny.
Was her father called Joe?
Really, Paul, you shouldn't make fun of her.
How's the new house? Is it on a corner?
Really, Paul. She's a lovely person. Very wise, too. Well, she made me think.
Think?
Yes, a quote from Shakespeare, to the effect that I know what I am, but not what I'm going to do.
I thought you'd decided. You seem well hitched to Sonia. You've been so happy.
Have I?
Yes, to me.
It seems such a vulture's trade, Paul. Well, I know it's not, but I don't know, I feel like a dilettante. No purpose, no reason. I think I've offered Sonia all I have to offer her, if I ever had anything to offer. Well, you've got your career, and I feel like I did months ago.
It's just luck, Heather. Fate and all that. I wouldn't normally walk out on an evening like this. Not that I ever get them. It was good. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I understand.
I'm off then. If it's not too late, I'll ring, okay?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello? Yeah, just hang on a moment, please. Stuart, it's for you. It's Brian, is it?
Brian? Hello, Brian. What's wrong? Yeah, I was just going. No need, then. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Bye. I'm reprieved. They can manage.
Would you like some pudding? It's only fruit tart.
With cream?
Yes.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll watch my weight, too.
Yeah, I'll pass on the fruit tart as well.
I'll wash up. The exercise will do me good.
No, you won't. I'll do it.
The meal was lovely. I should help.
You just sit down there and talk to me while I do it.
It's a deal.
There's always voluntary work.
That's what I might have done.
Or carried on doing on the Wirral. Not now, Paul.
I can't see why you want to work. You could always spend a few days with Sonia. I thought you enjoyed these sales and house clearances.
I do, but...
You should do more entertaining. Yeah, that's what you want. What you need. I mean, I'm meeting new people all the time, every day. We could do more.
But it's more than that. Entertaining is fine, but it's not the answer.
You seem to do nothing else in the last house.
But it's not enough. I've got to have...
Yes?
Something else.
And I ought to eat better, you know. Fall into that sort of trap, living on junk food just to save on time and trouble. I want to be back in my size 10s, but I don't want to just be back in my old figure, you know. I want to be healthy too. We can do it together, Stuart. What do you think? Stuart, start a campaign of healthy living. Stuart?
Oh.
Hello?
Sorry, old man, you're blocking me in.
Blocking?
I'm in rather a hurry.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, I'll get my keys.
Paul?
Heather, you're, the doctor. He's blocked me in.
God, what a night. You should have kicked me out. I'm going to be late myself.
Sorry about this, Paul.
I never realized.
What time is it?
20 to 9.
Really? Oh, God, I'm going to be late. I'm not used to drinking.
Divorcees. He left his card in Paul Collins's way. And she comes to the door as bold as brass, half naked.
What?
Heather. She's had a man there all night. Divorcees. They get the shackles off and they go mad. No shame in them. No shame at all.
Sorry about that. Didn't realize I was staying. Circumstances beyond my control.
Well, no harm done. Nice to have met you again.
Bye, Paul. Listen, I'm going to have to ring. Do you want to stay and have some breakfast?
I can't, Heather. I should be on by 9.
Well, have a shower then.
Have to be quick. Oh, where did you get that blanket? I itch like mad.
Do you want to go?
Hey. No, I don't.
Don't you think you'd be better off at home, lad?
I'm all right.
Me and Madge. We could keep an eye on you.
Well, I'll be with him.
I think he should be at home, Michelle. It's very kind of you to offer and all that, but the state he's in, he should be at home.
It's all right. I'm doing nothing.
But your sister's got enough on her plate.
Well, she said it's all right, and it is.
And what about the 2 kids?
We're all away at the moment.
When they come back, it'll just mean me sleeping on the sofa. Unless I decide to squeeze in with the bionic man.
Shut up.
Are you sure you'll be all right, son?
Yeah.
Well, I hope your mood improves. Give us a shout, Lou, if he gets on your wick.
I will.
And I'll lock him up in our back bedroom. Anything I can get you, lad?
No, no thanks.
Oh, well, I'll leave you to it then.
Well, I'll see you out. I won't be a minute.
Oh, another thing, love. If you get fed up keeping on the settee, give us a shout, and I'll send Marge home to her mother's. See you, son.
See ya.
Oh. Where's me paper? I'm going out.
What about your breakfast? Do you have to go out right now?
Do you blame me?
It's nearly done.
I can get the same as that in Lime Street.
Will you be back for your dinner?
No, I can get that there as well. And eat in better company.
Don't let him bother you, Edna, love. That fella's been in a bad mood since the day I met him. Hello, what have we got here? He must be nuts walking out on this. Doesn't know how lucky he is.
Can you eat it?
I will, Edna, love, if you'll sit and share it with us.
I'm not hungry.
This'll cheer you up. Polite diplomats running in at 2:30.
I am sorry about last night.
It's all right.
I feel such an idiot, crashing out like that. Before the fruit tart, too. When can we do it again? Without the undignified good night.
God, I'm so busy.
This is ridiculous. Having to check a diary to see when I can take you out to dinner. How about Monday night?
Late meeting. I've got a lot to finish off, you see, before I go to Manchester.
Friday, then?
Then I'm in Manchester. I'll be back on the Sunday.
Sunday? What's that? I think I'm covering for half the hospital rugger team.
Well, shall we leave it that we'll phone?
Will you get any time off in Manchester?
Little, perhaps.
How about lunch that Friday?
In Manchester?
Why not? Otherwise, it'll be weeks before I can return the favour. You don't believe me? Well, I mean it.
You'll come to Manchester? No, I don't.
That's it, then. I'll come to Manchester. Which hotel is it?
Oh, I don't know yet.
I'll give you a ring. Do you know a restaurant called the Film Exchange?
No.
Well, I'll be there about 1 o'clock. Look, sorry, I must go.
Stuart, I've never heard of it.
Well, neither had I till yesterday. We'll find it.
Well, if you don't fancy egg and chips, I could do you a beef burger.
All right, I'll have a beef burger. Not many chips, though.
Right. Do you want onions with it?
No.
Come to see Sally.
Well, he's not well.
I know he's not well, that's why I've come to see you.
He's upstairs.
All right, sir. I don't want to see you. What? You heard. What's brought this on?
He doesn't want to see you.
I'm talking to Terry. It's her business too, and I don't want to see you. Why? Why? Because of all this. Look at the state of me. I can't even get myself to bog. And look at you, walking around like nothing's happened.
You haven't even been to see him.
I would have done, but I mean...
But what?
Don't want to know. It wasn't me who wanted to tell her busies, Ter. I don't want to talk about it.
Haven't you done enough damage, Barry Grant?
Shut up, Michelle!
Why should I shut up, eh? Look at him! It was you that got him like this, you!
You're just like your Marie, you are.
Yeah, well, perhaps I should be more like her when it comes to you.
Just go, eh?
Yeah, get out.
It wasn't my fault, Terry. I mean, we were in this together.
Get out! Get out!
Just leave it.
Just get out and don't come back! Anne-Marie was right about you. You're bad luck. Our pet, everything goes wrong, and now this. Just get out.
Terry, I'll come and see you when you fit, mate.
No, you won't. We don't want to see you again, ever.
I mean it, Terry. That's the last time he sets foot in this house. I don't want to see him again.
The total to a 10-pence stake moves on to £127.05. Well, I'm looking rather sour because I think really we shouldn't have gone for a 1 o'clock jump then at 9 to 2. A terrible price for a very good horse, really a pretty consistent animal, and they didn't run Cambridge to deliberately lose. Jerry said he's ridden, he's the 29th winner, so he won this championship last year, and he's won it again this year. This championship is confined to jockeys who haven't ridden 50 winners at the start of the season, so he's eligible
Mrs.
next year
Cross.
for the championship. And,
Yes.
Jerry says that he's determined to try and win it again for the third
You know we can't have this, Mrs. Cross. A tenner each way. You're 160 down. Your limit's 120.
It isn't.
You know it is. Ronnie told you yesterday.
It's a good tip I've had.
Well, good tip or not, I can't take it.
Just this one.
I can't. And I want the account settling
160?
by next Tuesday.
I don't know.
Next Tuesday, Mrs. Cross.
What if I can't pay?
Look, you got the letter when your application for an account came through. Pay up in 7 days when requested. So it's legal action.
Legal action?
Mhm.
Well, I don't think I can pay in 7 days.
Sorry. That's the rule.
Jerry says that he's determined to try and win it again for the third year running. The only bit of bad news about it is that,
Oh, look.
Thanks, Mum.
God, blimey.
What?
Where have you been staying?
Hey?
You stink.
Well, like I said, Mum, nowhere special.
Why don't you have a bath?
Can I?
Of course you can. You don't have to ask that.
I am going, Mum.
I know. I don't want you to feel you're being pushed out because of this baby.
I think it's best if I do. I mean, I'm not going to get a job round here, am I?
Is it all over then? Seeing you in the shop?
Well, Terry Michelle is still in, but it is a good job, Mum, and I'll be able to send you some money home and that.
No, you won't.
Well, Billy Harper said it'd be 200 a week with OVs.
Me and your dad are doing all right.
Well, all right, I will if you want me to, then.
I know you will.
It's not what you think it is, you know, Mum.
Usually me asking you.
I feel dead sick about Terry.
Perhaps you'll realise now why I've always worried.
Yeah. Thanks, Mum.
Go on. Go and get your bath.
Hello, Edna, love. You look tired. Are you just in time for a cuppa?
Is Harry back?
Not yet, no. Hey, the comings and goings in this close. Cars in, cars out, and taxis. More cars than Soft Mick. Harry should cash in on it. I've told him. About renting the garage. That fella over there with the 2 cars, he should ask him.
Is it worth it?
What? Gracie's brother, he lived in the next street to us. He was paying £8 a week for a lock-up garage.
£8?
It's worth a try. Hey, I don't know.
Keep the pot warm. I've just remembered. I want to go and see Annabelle.
Oh, it's back, is it?
All right, Dame.
Where have you been?
About?
Must have you got a job somewhere?
Yeah.
Away, innit?
Wolverhampton.
Yeah. How much?
Never mind.
Damon, what are you rooting for? Your season ticket?
Oh, that's very nice, that is.
Oh, come on. I can't afford one, and you won't be needing it for ages.
Go on, and you can use it.
How much will you get?
Enough.
I've been writing trying to get a job for ages. Not a thing.
You'll have to go away, Day.
Nah.
Linda won't let you, eh?
Well, it's not that. I mean, I don't want to leave her. I just have to wait till I get something round here. You don't mind if I take these as well, do you?
No, you can have them as well.
Honest? It's just that, well, I'm having a kick around under the floodlights and...
It's all right, Dane.
So... Your mum says you're going tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it works out all right for you.
Thanks, Dane.
I mean it, you know, Barry.
Yeah, I know.
Aww.
You'll never be out of work, will you, Karen?
I don't know.
What, the brain of Brookside?
It'd be funny having a baby instead of you.
Why, what's the difference?
Well, over at Susie's house, their Jeff's got a new baby now. Him and his wife are living with them. And here it's me mum and dad.
Yeah, well, it's too late for me to be bringing a baby into this house, isn't it? Been beaten to it.
So I'll finish with Celia then.
Yeah.
Thought you might have got you settled down.
Settle down? Thought you were the women's live one round here.
Well, you know, I liked her. And you did too, didn't you?
Yeah.
A bit more. I'm sorry.
How are things going to work out with you and Andrew?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, get yourself a real clever fella at university and save him for when you come home and... Do us a favour, will you, Can? My mum's still worried about this job and so if she starts going on, put it right for us, will you?
Yeah, I will.
And, look after yourself.
But Paul does have plans to buy a garage of our own.
But renting's cheaper, much cheaper.
Well, I don't know. I think he's got all that in hand. Oh, sorry, there's my phone.
You could do what Harry did with the nurses next door, a lease.
Really,
You could pay a few months in advance. You've no need to go to a solicitor or anything like that. I could do it.
Really, I ought to answer the phone. How much a week did you say?
£6.
Well, I'll have to ask Paul about that. I'm not sure where he's up to on this.
Ah, have you heard?
Heard what?
Frank Stewart at Manchester has just phoned. Your proposal has gone through.
Good.
I'll want a meeting as soon as possible.
Well, certainly, but not now. I promised myself an early finish.
Still full of confidence about this, are you?
I certainly am.
I've seen it all before, Paul. Well, it's all yours now.
I think he's so cut up about Celia.
Well, I'm more worried about this job.
It's all right, Mum. I know it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I reckon it is.
All right, she.
You're home early.
Home early, I wish you was. That bundle of papers I was reading last night, where are they?
Green papers?
Yes, I should be in St. Helens in half an hour. I've got a trades council meeting. I forgot the flaming things.
By the bed.
Cheers, kid.
Bob!
What are you doing here?
Did my mum tell you?
Tell me what?
Hello? Oh, Sonia. Hello, how are you? No, I've been in all day. A persistent neighbour at the front door. Irishman? I'm intrigued.
Well, I hope this isn't bent, lad.
It isn't.
Yeah. Well, I don't want your mother going through this lot again. Not now.
The job's straight up, Dad.
Yeah. Well, she's had a belly full of this lot, and so have I. And I don't want you coming back here in handcuffs.
I won't.
Anyway, I hope it works out all right for you.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Look, you know why I read up on you the other week, don't you? I was worried about your mother and you. And you were lucky this time, you know. If you take my advice, lad, you'll stay well away from them lunatics. All right?
It was a mistake, Dad. All of this.
You don't want your mother going through all this again, do you? So, what is the job then? Where is it, Wolverhampton?
I'll come over and see you this afternoon. Yes, all right. Because I want to know what's expected of me before I accept the contract. All right. I'll see you shortly then. Bye.
Here, put that tenner in your pocket.
Oh, no way, Dad, you're all right.
Put it in your pocket and don't tell your mother.
Yeah, is this what you wanted?
Thanks, love.
You better off, haven't you, if you're doing St. Helens?
Yeah. Well, lad, I hope it suits you. I'm glad you're making a go of it, you know.
Thanks a lot, Dad, eh?
Ta-ra, love. See you later.
See you, love.
Paddy, you haven't but a said, eh?
Yeah, love.
So...
You all ready?
Yeah.
Did you tell your dad?
I don't know whether he's glad to see the back of me or what.
Oh, love is sorry. We all are. Look, I know you haven't seen eye to eye with your dad over the last few months, but he does care, love.
I think he's worried about you, Mum.
Well, just because I didn't have the test and that motorbike business, I'll be all right.
I can't imagine you with a baby.
Neither can I, love.
Don't worry, Mum.
I am worried.
What about?
Just worried.
Oh, Mum.
I've had you three. All smashing kids.
Mum, it'll be all right. Everything will be all right.
Give us a ring when you got yourself sorted out, won't you?
Better go and see to that to come and do, like. Mum.
This close is becoming more like a division of NCP. Where are you going?
Sonia asked me to call over and see her.
Now? Have you found the Broadbents?
Oh, I forgot. Well, this business with Sonia cropped up.
What business?
She's got some VIPs from Ireland coming over, antique dealers. She's asked me if I can provide them with a meal.
What, here?
Don't be silly. At Cranston.
Oh, you?
Yes. And why not? She's paying me.
Oh, really?
It's worth a try.
Well, I'm impressed with their powers of persuasion. I can't get you to entertain people I consider VIPs. I rather fancy we could have a run out. Eat with the Broadbents. By way of celebration. How long's this jaunt with Sonia likely to take?
For heaven's sake, can't you phone Stan?
Oh, my God, it was Harry Cross. I wasn't sure. Could have given him a lift.
That reminds me about the garage.
Any word from the council?
No, but I think you ought to have a word with Harry.
Hello?
Well, Edna popped over earlier. She seems very anxious that we should rent their garage. Well, she seemed quite desperate. Now, whether they need the money or not...
Oh, well, I'll quash that here and now. Well, Harry, could I have a word?
I don't know whether to speak or not.
What?
You drove past me. Have a weak heart. It's cold enough to freeze the... I am a navy, you know.
I apologize. Concentrating on the driving and all that.
Were you?
I just wanted to tell you about your garage.
What?
Well, Mrs. Cross asked Annabelle today about us renting your garage. The thing is, I'm having my own built. It's very kind of you both, but...
Just a minute, Paul. I never made any arrangements about renting my garage out.
Well, your wife asked Annabelle. Perhaps she's following your example as a landlord, making some extra money, eh?
Are you sure you've got this right?
Anna said.
I don't need any extra money, Paul.
Well, perhaps I got it wrong. But you know my position now.
Aye, aye. A wanderer returns, then goes again.
Well, I must say I shan't be sorry to see the back of him.
I think that's unfair, Paul.
You tell me it had something to do with getting the other fella sent to jail.
Well, we shan't have to worry about his influence around here anymore. Looks like he's going for good.
Look, Ralph, you don't have to tell me about the cost of a professional decorator.
Well, it could charge as much as £6 or £7 an hour.
Well, out of my range anyway. That's why I'm so vigilant about the decor of my house. You know, the one I'm renting.
Now, Pat's a sociable sort, isn't he? Chatting to me the other day about getting things going on the close. Something like a spring barbecue, for instance.
Oh, yeah, he would. With him supplying some of the grub. That way he'd make himself a few bob.
His veg is very reasonable.
Needs to be if you buy it from him, Edna. I mean, I haven't got money to chuck around. I mean, no fancy extras on the menu. For our friend here.
Oh, that's fine by me. No, things are tight all round, I reckon. I mean, take me, for instance. The funeral sent me back a few bob. Nearly 600 quid, to be precise.
I've got all the worries of being a landlord. If there's a cold snap soon and a pipe bursts in that house, I've got to have a contingency fund for the repairs.
Harry, I've just been thinking, I'll do the shopping this morning.
Why?
Well, it works out cheaper if I go. I shop around more.
What about the shopping, Solly? You'll want me to pull it for you, won't you?
No, I'll manage. Besides, I'm better shopping on my own. You panic me. You never give me time to think.
What's this penciled in for the 23rd at ACG?
Oh, dispute over manning levels. Jeff Iron's the convener there. I don't line up with him politically, but he's a first-class bloke.
Too far to the left for you, is he, George? No, it must be a problem for you, though, mustn't it? When all the good shop stewards, the rail grafters, turn out to be commies.
Seriously, though, while we're on the subject of conveners, this guy's Petrochem.
Frankie Bennett. I'm going up there to see him this afternoon.
Well, now, he's at the other end of the scale. We get called in because he's made a pig's ear of it. Well, that or worse.
Wait. What? You mean he's on the take?
Nothing you can actually pin down, but, you know, I get this feeling he never quite levels with you. Anyway, don't let me influence you. You go up there and see what you think.
You know why I'm going, don't you?
Case of unfair dismissal, isn't it?
That's right. It's being put to the committee. They want me to take it up. I might need a bit of help with precedence, lad.
Oh, well, the research department will help you out there. Just give me a ring when you're ready with your questions.
It's odd, really, though, with the subcontracting coming up. I wouldn't have thought Petrochem wanted any aggro.
One dismissal. It's an isolated thing, man. It's just minor.
Not always, not at the finish.
Well, this one's going to be because that's how we're going to play it.
It depends on the circumstances, George. We don't know what they are.
Look, just go in there and sort the thing out with the minimum of fuss, yeah? Get the thing well out of the way before those tenders hit anybody's desks. Certainly before they're taken up. Didn't want one of these, did you?
Didn't your one give you any breakfast this morning? You Weston Sheila. You're sinking them as overdue. That's pregnant.
Yes, well, that's 22 carat your wedding, 18 your other. Pre-war. There were mainly 9 carat during the war wedding rings, the price of gold being what it was. How much do you want?
Isn't it more what you lend?
You tell me what you're after.
Well, it cost him £10, the wedding ring in 1937. Well, Mother's gone up, so to speak, so... Well, I was thinking £50 the both.
Well, it's a good weight. Yes, I think I can do that for you.
Perhaps 60 or 70.
60.
Yes. And I'll need a ticket, won't I?
Now, this is the important thing. Your date, your time limit. 3 months. But if you go over, don't panic. I always keep stuff over a bit.
It won't be 3 months. It can't be.
Fine. You can take them out this afternoon if you want. But it'll still cost you a 12p interest.
I do hope it's this afternoon. I really do.
What's your name?
Edna Cross. I've had a bit of bad luck, really. I really need to raise £160.
Address?
I've got a son I could turn to, but he'd have to know what it was about.
The address?
Kevin's.
No, yours.
6 Brookside Close.
Harry? Oh, sorry, love. Do you mind if I interrupt?
No, it's all right. Just paying the rent.
Where do these go?
She wants them in the kitchen. She thinks the blinds are too clinical.
Right.
Can't see why myself.
Oh, I can, though. Those will make it very cosy. I mean, it's like with hospitals, the way they try and cheer them up with colour. Fabrics, I mean, not idiots like me.
Well, I don't know. I bet you do more to cheer a wall than any curtains would do.
Oh, what a nice thing to say.
He's after something.
True. I've got a really fiddly job on here, threading a load of curtain hooks.
Oh, no. Sorry. I mean, you know Michelle, who's looking after Terry? Well, she asked Sandra to go round and lend a hand, but Sandra's not into that sort of thing, putting herself out for nothing. So I promise I'll go round instead.
I'm sure Al can do the job if he tries.
Bye, Mr. Cross.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Be nice if we could get him up before she came back, wouldn't it? Be a surprise for her.
Oh, anything for Edna, eh?
Give us a hand, will you? Oh, is she still here?
Oh, don't be like that. She's only just come.
Did you invite her?
Well, no, I spoke to Sandra, though.
Well, you could have asked me first. Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's all right. I can manage.
All right. How long ago was your accident?
5 weeks.
I'll tell you what, that leg will be weight-bearing soon. They'll fix a little heel at the bottom and probably a short plaster too.
Well, he goes to the fracture clinic next week.
Talk for himself, can't he?
If he chooses. Which isn't all that often at the moment.
Well, you make up for me, don't you? I mean, all the rabbit and you do.
Release the boredom of this room.
Why don't you go downstairs?
You what?
Yeah, bump down on your bottom.
Oh, great. And what happens if I feel dizzy halfway down the stairs?
Oh, not on your own, when Michelle's around. Mind you, it'd be harder for you getting back up. Still, I expect you were fit before.
I'm not now, though, am I? I feel done in half the time. All I want to do is sleep.
Oh, leave him. Tea?
Tea.
Yeah, please.
Listen, Terry. How long do you think she's going to go on without feeling really cheesed off? I mean, she's looking after you, but you're not even trying. You don't even make an effort. Oh, dear. I had this patient once, an old chap. He had gangrene in the legs. Had to have both his legs off. Well, he pulled himself up on the monkey bar. You know, one of those things over the bed. Well, 3-4 days after his operation. Sweat was pouring off him. 73 he was. And you're what? 20-something, aren't you?
How's that, Edna?
Oh, Ralph, you shouldn't have.
Why? What's up?
I just feel tired, that's all. Where's Harry?
He's out. He's back for tea.
Well, you know what it is. It's a way of bringing in non-union labour. Subcontract out and in they come, in by the back door.
Yeah. Well, don't you worry about the maintenance work, lad. That's something you can leave to us now.
What's that supposed to mean?
What it says.
I thought maybe Williams had said something about me running to him for help.
Why, would that be fair comment?
He might be, yeah. But what's he get his money for, eh?
You know how the union works, don't you, lad? There's a high proportion of members here to officials. Therefore, we depend on the lads, don't we, for a strong shop floor. It's tradition, lad.
How do you mean?
Oh, we're a craft union, aren't we? We expect our members to have pride. We expect our members to be able to be capable to defend themselves. And we hope enough of them will serve on the lay committees to keep a strong shop floor democracy alive.
You lot are all alike. You're great at speechifying.
Yeah, well, don't write me off yet, lad, eh? Let me sort this lad out first. Then you can mark me card for me, if you still want to.
Yeah, well... You've got the bare bones there. Fella's called Crosby, John. He's an insulation engineer. No bother till about 6 months ago. He accepts his work fell off a bit because he had domestic problems, but not to the extent that they make out.
No, but there were complaints about his work.
There were, but I tell you the thing that made it worse. They brought in this new plant manager.
Paul Collins? Yeah, I don't know, lad.
Well, he comes in and he wants to make an impression with the powers that be. He started cracking down. Crosby says he was picked on more than ever.
But was there an actual incident or what?
Well, the supervisor made some remark. Crosby got his rag out, said something that he shouldn't have said, you know. He never actually laid one on him, but the feeling was plain that he liked to have done.
Stupid beggar.
Yeah, but he was marked out because Collins wanted an example making.
Look, I told you I know Paul Collins. I'll have a word with him before I go tonight. Strictly off the record, though.
No, he's out today. Some public relations caper. I suppose you want to see Crosby himself?
Not today. Want to get jammed up on this first. Was Crosby coming to you with all of this about being picked on?
Of course.
Well, you didn't come running to us over this one, did you?
That's just how Williams sees me. He's prejudiced against me. And some things I do handle myself. Complaints, for instance.
What's this then? About 6 months ago, change of deployment.
Well, it meant in effect from doing fairly simple routine work, he got shifted to something more, well, complicated, I suppose.
And that's when he started falling down on his work?
That's when they said he did.
Yeah, well, what does he say?
Well, he admits he had domestic problems.
So he did fall down on the job?
I suppose so, yes.
At exactly the same time as he changed work?
I think it's just a coincidence. I wouldn't read anything into that.
Well, it's obvious you wouldn't, would you? Because there's nothing down here about it. Look, you can leave this to me now, all right?
See you again then, shall we?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you will.
What did you say she's gone to get you?
A pair of kecks. She's lending them off Pat. She's probably still over there talking to Kate.
So smiling, that one. Maybe it's because her teeth show up more, you know, with her being...
Should have heard her before. She gave me a load of verbal. Should have heard her.
Why? What for?
For giving up easily, I suppose. Letting things get me down and that.
I held all these things ready to say to George. How they'd been on at me on the estate. Betty, where I was staying, and all her mates. Saying I should fight for George. You know, do something.
What? There isn't anything that's going to do any good.
They said that's not the point. That I should fight for the principle of it. For the unfairness. I had it all ready to say to George. When I saw him, I just couldn't. He looked so terrible. He just... I couldn't batter him with words.
Did you take it bad then?
It's like he shrunk.
No bad jokes?
Oh, he makes jokes, yeah. And you think, oh, that's better. And then you look. His eyes aren't laughing, are they? He makes a joke and it just makes it worse.
Well, maybe you'll get used to it a bit more.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he will. And then he'll look even more hunched up. They may have broken your bones, but George... Well, he'll mend all right. Broken bones do. But him... Whether his spirit will, ever.
I think I've got that problem too. I break out in a sweat sometimes. I panic. It's like I'm in the tool hire. The moment the boot started going in. Never had much bottle any road. Always me did the runner. Me, not him.
Barry Grant?
Yeah. I think, why did it have to be me? I mean, he's all right. He's out now. He's walking round.
You'll feel better when you're out of here. Hobbling up and down the close.
As long as it's in the dark. I feel like something out of a comic strip. Especially with this thing.
It'll grow, love. It looks quite good now.
Feels a bit better.
Oh, Terry. When I think of what that man's done to you, and what he's done to George, I feel like never resting till he's punished somehow.
He's leaving us on our own for once.
Oh, that's nice.
Aye, where's your rings?
I'm doing potatoes.
You haven't left them on the windowsill, have you, where they can get lost?
No, I've put them away safely for that very reason.
Well, get them back on again. It's bad luck to leave them off for too long. And we've had a belly full of that recently.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, with Grace passing over the way she did, and him living with us until God knows when.
Well, you can hardly turn people out at Christmas, the season of goodwill.
I'll have none left by then. And anyway, get those rings on.
Harry?
Yes?
I was thinking of ringing Kevin, asking him around to make plans for Christmas.
Well, I've no objection. Those days are over, I'm glad to say. Yes, I'll go along with that.
Oh, just get me a cane, will you?
Oh, Terry, don't if it's too hard.
You let him try, Michelle. You're doing all right.
Oh, God, just tie me to the bar so I can doss down here for the night.
Michelle, I found it. Look, the article on George when he saved that drowning child.
Looks like the doc's had it.
Oh, never mind. And never mind there, Terry. Carry on.
What's got into her?
God knows. I am knackered.
I think you'd be tired tonight. So I was wondering, would you mind if I went out with Kate for a drink?
Why not?
Well, I wouldn't if you minded. I'll just go and check how Marie's going to be in. Marie, I want to go out with Kate for a drink tonight. So I was wondering, would you mind?
Oh, yeah, you go.
Why have you got that out?
I'm going to use it to help George. I've decided, Michelle. I'm going to fight. I am really going to raise a stink about it.
George doesn't want that, does he? He just wants to do his time.
I know that. But there's what I want as well. There's my feelings, isn't there? I don't think I could go on another visit, seeing him the way he is, and know that I'm not lifting a finger. Oh, maybe not to get him out, before he comes out anyway. But I could clear his name.
But if he doesn't want it?
Even then. Talking to your Terry made me realise just how bitter I am. Well, I am not going to sit and bottle all that up, not for another 6 months. What would George come out to, eh? I'd be that eaten up. I'd be in such a mess. I don't think we'd last very long. Our marriage wouldn't, I don't think.
Don't half exaggerate.
It's had its trials over the last few months. You should know. And there's the fact that he'll come out to no job. And he'll have a record. Well, I've got to be able to live with myself. I can't just have done nothing.
Guess you're just more of a fighter than me.
If your Teddy can get himself out of that room, then I can fight for George. And God gave me a loud voice.
Kevin, say something.
Like what? That I just meet the debt? That you promise never to do it again and that we all pretend it never happened? I mean, it's not the first time, Mum. We've been through all this before.
Kevin, please. He'll be back in a minute. You know he's only gone to get the paper.
Yes, and that's all he wants in a way. Time, space to potter about, gossip, read the paper, and you'd spoil all that, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't if he didn't know. And anyway, it's not like that now. He's got the tenants to fuss over.
Exactly. He's got additional burdens, maybe financial worries too, and you'd add to them, wouldn't you? I mean, the man looked forward to retirement. How selfish can you be?
I didn't mean to drag him in.
He is dragged in. He's married to you, Mother. You've got a problem and you won't admit it, and I'll tell you this, Mum, until you do, it's Dad's problem as well. He shouldn't have to cope with stress. He's got a heart condition.
Oh, Kevin.
I'm sorry, but it's no help to either of you to paper over things, to bail you out and have it start all over again. Look, Mum, I'm going to take you in the car. We'll get off now before he's back, and I'll lend you the money to redeem the rings. But that's the only money that I will lend you. And I'll drive you back here. I'll call again tomorrow. And by then you will have told him. Yes, Mum, you will.
I don't think I can.
Well, in that case, I'll have to tell him for you. But I'd rather you did it yourself. I'm sure you'd rather, really.
What about the money? They're threatening legal action.
Take the first step, and then we'll see. Look, Mum, I'll help you get the rings, but only on condition that you tell him.
Morning.
Hey, just arriving.
Yeah? You?
Oh, just off. Being dined a lot at the moment. Firm's keen to tender for the maintenance work. Fairly tedious for me, but I take it as a good sign. Competition will bring the cost down, won't it?
Wouldn't count your chickens yet.
Oh, I know there's a lot of talking to do. But I'm sure we'll be able to reach some agreement. Anyway, what brings you here?
Well, I'm here to see the personnel guy. Watson, is it?
Ken Watson. If it's about the dismissal or if it's fact you're after, you couldn't talk to a better man. Keeps to the point, and I respect his judgment.
Judgment? He's just sacked a lad here called Crosby. Now, if that dismissal's fair, somebody slipped up.
Oh, they did. It wasn't Ken Watson. Crosby was appointed before his time. And before mine, too, if it comes to that. Or he would never have seen the inside of this plant.
They're strong words.
You talk to Watson.
I see. Well, now you know the ropes. What's the next thing going into Hock? The coat's off me back.
It had to be the rings, Harry. I didn't want to, but I didn't know what else to do.
There was always Kevin. You went running to him in the end.
Well, you see, Harry, I kept thinking...
Yes, I know. That you were going to back a winner. I've had to live with you for 30 years thinking this. I might have realised what was going on when Paul Collins told me about you wanting to rent the garage out.
I wanted to tell you when I first lost the £30. But somehow I didn't like.
It wouldn't have amounted to this. This, and what Kevin paid out, is the equivalent of 4 months' pension.
Railway pension.
Don't quibble. 4 months' railway pension, 4 weeks' state pension. Have it whichever way you want. It's still £220.
Don't shout, Harry. It's bad for you.
You should have thought of that before. Instead of self, self, self. Your kicks, your excitement.
Better let Kevin in. Hello, Kevin.
You've told him, haven't you?
He was all right at first. Now he's working himself up.
Well, I'm going to put something to him. And I wanted to mention it to you first because I don't want you to think that we're deciding your future behind your back.
I know what you're going to say.
Gamblers Anonymous. I know you've ruled it out before, but I think it's something you should reconsider.
It's too late at my time of life.
What are you saying? That you'll jog along for a couple of months and then we'll have the same thing again? Because if you are, it's not on.
But it was different this time. I had the credit number. They gave it to me without any fuss, without knowing whether I could manage. All I had to do was ring. They made it seem so easy.
So you're blaming the bookmakers now, are you? Very convenient.
He's got a point.
Even if she didn't have a phone, she'd find her way to the bookmakers. Even lying away. Because it's like a taint she's got in her blood.
It's a sort of illness, Dad. That's why she needs help.
Talk about me as though I'm not here.
You act as though you're not here. Up here, I mean. It's that business of you trying to find a winner that makes you a loser. Every time.
Harry, not anymore.
Anyway, there's one thing we can be grateful for, that he's not here. The merry widower.
Harry, don't be soft. Ralph knows I gamble. It was through him I got the credit number.
Say that again.
It was through Ralph I knew you could phone through.
I didn't know that, Edna. But I'm glad you told me.
Don't say anything to him. It wasn't his fault it got out of hand.
Forgetting, aren't I? The cosy little chat you had with Ralph years ago. Sitting in our kitchen drinking hot chocolate. Discussing the GGs. You couldn't discuss them with me because I was out at work. And I may have a brief word with Ralph when he comes in.
Spending again, I see.
I'm working hard enough to earn it, yes, why not? I'll even treat you today.
No, I said I would do it.
No, I'm in the mood for spending, I insist.
Fine. I'll treat you next week.
Well, you have to come to Birmingham then, because that's where I'll be.
Well, I'm here in Manchester, aren't I?
True. I thought that was partly to do with work.
Yes, really fascinating. Something to do with the medical students here as part of their degree. They get actors to play patients.
Crosby? And the man does have his problems. He'll tell you that himself. But he's supposed to be a qualified engineer. He's got to be able to do the work of an engineer. If we wanted a labourer, that's what we would have hired.
Yeah, but has there been any history of any argy-bargy or them flying off the handle?
On his previous job? No, but you see, I think that's the crux of the problem myself. Now, my predecessor took him on without checking his qualifications. Well, Crosby gave him some generalised sort of guff. It certainly wouldn't have satisfied me.
Have you asked him to come up with anything more specific?
He had some story about one of his kids. He's got 3 children, apparently. One of his kids getting hold of some of his papers and tearing them up, and amongst them was the testimonial he brought with him from his previous job. Could be true.
And you think he's shooting you a line?
But I don't dislike the man personally. I honestly believe that he couldn't cope, and that's why he flew off the handle. But you know as well as I do, Mr. Grant, there are men out there whose only domestic problem is lack of work. I'd rather employ one of them, Tom, very much.
Yeah, but you can't just dismiss someone, can you? Because you think you could do better if you started again from scratch. I mean, maybe you could, but that's not the point, is it? The point is he's got to have some protection.
He's got you, hasn't he?
Well, I'd like to think we can sort it out, yeah? I mean, without going to a tribunal, because...
Because you'd rather use your muscle? Take this man back or we'll walk out.
No, not rather, no. I mean, we're prepared to go to an industrial tribunal if we've got to. But if I think we've got a good case, well, there'd be no need to, would there?
Shout if you want anything.
Thanks for your help, anyway. How's it going, then? I'll tell you what might help. If we can get a copy of his testimonial from his last firm. The one he said the kids tore up.
Water under the bridge is his record here that counts.
Look, I know that, lad, I know that. But they don't seem to think there was one.
Well, of course they would.
Look, it'd help us if he could get a copy, wouldn't it? Might bolster the confidence in him.
I'm not sure what Crosby would think about that.
Neither am I till I see him tonight. You know why your dinner's gone cold, don't you, Frank? Because your eyes have been out of Maxto's while I've been over there talking to Watson.
I've just seen you and him, hobnobbing like that. I mean, you wonder whose side you're on.
Who, me, Frankie? I'm on the side of the angels, lad. I'm in nobody's pocket but my own.
I managed to get the colour charts. Where's Edna?
Lying down.
Is she not well or something?
It's been a right to do over that gambling.
I thought her luck might turn. But it hasn't, obviously.
It's about that phone credit business. She went over the limit and now they're taking legal action.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't know.
You didn't know?
Not that it had got as bad as that. I knew about the credit arrangements, yeah.
Because you put her on it, that's why.
But it's something she enjoys. It's one of her few pleasures.
One of her few pleasures. I don't see it as a pleasure. I see it as an evil. You may be able to have the odd bet and let it go at that. She can't. I see it as an evil.
You're right, Harry. I didn't really think it through like that. Look, I'm not short of money now. The insurance came through this morning for Grace. Would you let me meet the debt? At least as an immediate loan.
All right. Suppose I do say yes. I'm still left with a problem. I mean, I know you're busy decorating. But the way I see it, Ralph, I can live with a few unpainted rooms. But with a compulsive gambler, no. And I want Edna to stop. And at the moment, you're her main accomplice.
That's not true, Harry. And if I was going to give it up, I'd do far better with Ralph around. He'd back me up, I know he would.
I'd be grateful if over the next few days you got your things together and went home.
If that's what you want.
Oh, Harry, to that empty house.
Well, he should see what it's like, shouldn't he? He ought to go and find out what it's like to sit there with no one coming in. To put 2 cups out and realise there's only one.
Harry, that's a terrible thing to say.
It's had to be said, Edna. Well, am I right? What are you doing here? Facing up to being on your own? Or running away from it?
Oh, Harry, no.
He's got a point. It's being cruel to be kind.
He's not doing it for your sake, Ralph. He's doing it because he's jealous.
You must be joking. But I'll tell you what. Him giving you that credit thing was a stupid, wicked thing to do. Despicable. That's why I want to get rid of him.
the girl that stayed with you from Ireland?
Yes, that's right. I heard this morning she had a baby girl.
No, you don't want to traipse them back to the office. Anyway, gives me an excuse to come round. Deliver them tonight. Fine, I'll put them in the boot.
Why did you park down here?
Want to nip in there? See if they had any pics of the stars of Coronation Street.
What?
Not for me, for my friends. I've got a group of old dears on one ward who've been watching the programme for 24 years.
Oh, 24 years.
Yeah, it's the show's birthday or something this week. They were so excited to think I might see someone from Coronation Street.
Oh.
I said not in the Royal Infirmary. Mind you never know. Well, am I running you up to the office?
No, I'm going to walk back out through the law courts. It's good for me after all those breadsticks.
Right. Now, I meant what I said about Birmingham. About me trying to get over and buy you a meal.
Well, we'll see. Bye-bye.
Bye.
He's going to try and doze off a bit now. Might come down for some telly later.
Michelle, this is the copy that I got from the newspaper. See, it's a bit dark here and crawling up the page. But look, mine are even worse.
Well, they're not that bad. What have you got them for?
Gonna show them to someone.
Who?
Colin Trent.
Well, who's he when he's around?
He's only our local MP, that's all. I'm gonna go and see him about George.
In London?
Don't be soft. They are in the constituent places sometimes, you know. He's got a surgery this evening. I'm gonna go and see him there. Present our case.
Well, what about getting the tea?
You see to you and Teddy. I'll have some chips. Kill myself off with grease on the way home.
Well, Pat thinks there's a lot of rubbish talked about cholesterol. Honestly, he's dead funny. He had us in stitches last night. Well, I mean, I know it's not Terry's fault, but he's hardly a bundle of laughs at the moment.
Now, you listen to me. Terry's doing all right. He's been very seriously ill. You don't just shake that off. Psychologically, I mean.
I know. Oh, come on, I'll help you decide what to wear.
Tom, I want to look... Well, I don't want to look like you'd expect a prisoner's wife to look.
I know.
The foolish thing is that half the house is the way we want it, and the other half like it is now, as if it belonged to somebody else.
Oh, don't be worried about the decorating. It's not important.
No. The main thing is that I'm the one at fault, not Ralph. Why aren't you getting rid of me?
Because I'm married to you, Edna.
People do get rid of their wives.
Divorce is a costly business.
I think we argue less with Ralph around. I think it oils the wheels of conversation.
Do you?
I never fancied Ralph, you know. Not like I did you. He cut a poor figure, really, by comparison. It was just that we liked to chat, that's all. He was kind, and he didn't make cutting remarks. But I didn't fancy him, not in that way, anyway. And I'm sorry, Harry. Couldn't he stay? Just till he's done the bedrooms and got over the loss of Grace.
Just how long do you anticipate?
Well, I was thinking, if he did the back bedrooms and stayed till Christmas, well, I think after that, I'd be fed up with it and want it to be like it was.
Like a constant battleground. There's one condition, mind. That you go to Gamblers Anonymous. Or even consider it.
And there's the letter, Harry, the £160.
Well, I'll go along with that. He did offer. And it was him that started it.
And he'll make a good job of it, Harry.
He'd better.
send that letter off and you should see some results in the next few days. All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Mrs. Jackson.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Colin Trent. Would you like to come through, please?
Come in.
You sure it's all right me being here?
Yeah, that's fine. I've boxed it off with Frankie Bennett.
What about them that fired me?
It's out of working hours, isn't it? No one will get upset or start smashing the place around because they see you in here with me. Sit down, lad. Mind you, would have been better if we could have met at your house. But if it's not on, it
isn't.
Someone was saying you've got 3 kids. Your wife must have her hands full.
Well, that's it. Well, to be honest with you, when I told them domestic problems, what I really meant was here. See, she's had this trouble with her nerves, having to cope. She's on tablets and...
And how's she taking this about you losing your job?
Well, I'm at home to help. I mean, she hasn't really thought it through, me wife, how we'd cope on the dole. She just knows I'm there to help. And so in a way, it's good. I mean, whilst you're paying the wages, but all right.
Look, lad, I want to put something to you, eh? I don't want you jumping down my throat, all right? Well, if I go and say that, well... And lately you've been worried sick about your wife and your kids. And that no matter how much you wanted to do a good job, you couldn't because your mind was on them. I mean, that's why you came in for all this flack, you know, because you did do a lousy job. And I mean, although they really leaned on you, lad, well, they were justified.
No, you see, because I was all right until you moved me. I mean, I still had those same worries then. Just wasn't victimised before.
Oh, hang on, son, hang on. Victimised is an emotive word, isn't it? I mean, all right, so he might have been picking on you, but why was it? I mean, was it because you had blue eyes or what?
Believe me in this.
It's called playing the devil's advocate, OK? And it's part of my job. Now, all right, so they moved you. I mean, why couldn't you do the work? I mean, did it coincide with things going wrong at home, lad, or is it just so long since you've done this at your last bin that you've got rusty, or what? For God's sake, John, try and help me, lad. Well, give me something to go on.
I need this job back, Mr. Grant.
I know you do, yeah. Look, I think it might help if you can get a copy of that reference from your last firm. You know, the one you say the kids tore up. I really think it'd help. Well,
do you think they'd still have it? I mean, after all this time, like...
I'm sure they would. Yeah, they'd have a copy, wouldn't they? Cars there, southwest. Yes, I'm sure they would.
I don't see the point, really.
Why was it that bad?
No, it's good. Hard-working, all that business.
But is it be in your interest to produce it?
I can't, me kid.
A copy, man. Look, I'll send for it, all right. I'll get it sent here.
Please don't. Don't want them to know that I've been dismissed. It's like a pride thing, really.
I know it is, lad, but honest, you're wrong this time.
Please, Mr. Grant.
Hi. Oh, George, this is John Crosby. John, George Williams, the regional secretary.
Hello, John.
In relation to me, lad, he's management.
Oh, take the notice. Look, you just carry on. I don't mind.
Well, actually, I must be shooting. It's bath night tonight. Should be struggling.
All right, son, I'll keep in touch, eh?
See you.
Right. Well, now that I've found you, I've got Janet Hanson outside in the car. I want you to meet her.
Who?
Janet Hanson from the research department.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just made her an officer of me.
That's right. Equal opportunities, sexual discrimination. I think it's important that you should know her brief. So why don't we go and have a chat and a drink?
Yeah, all right, if you want to.
Hey, look, Bobby, don't get too bogged down in all this sub stuff, man. Nice and laid back on this one. The big job is still to come.
Look, George, I'll do my job, and I'll do it the way I want to do it, eh? Stuff the big job round the bloody corner.
How do you explain the barman's testimony?
Lies. Look, I know George drew that diagram. But why? Why's got to matter, hasn't it? Otherwise, where's the justice?
Well, let me get it clear. You aren't going to go ahead and appeal because you can only appeal against the sentence, not the conviction.
I don't think that's fair either.
No, that's the statute. No new evidence has come to light. And there was nothing irregular about the trial itself. In a technical sense.
In a technical sense. Oh, yeah. In a technical sense, George's hand drew that picture. And because of that, he's been sent to prison. It's cost us over £1,500. His job, and maybe the future of our kids. Layabouts and villains, they get off. Slip somebody the odd fiver here or there, wads of notes if they need to. But somebody straight and good like George, whose only fault is to be a bit naive, he gets sent down. Now, I don't care whether that's technical or not. It's wrong. It's got to be.
Two things. If you did start up with some sort of a campaign, he would be out before you saw results. And if the campaign made some sort of a splash, in the local press, for instance, it could rebound on your husband. I mean that within the prison itself, the staff could make life difficult for him. It has been known to happen.
It'll be in the local press, all right. They are. It's a bit faded round the edges, but...
Have you been in touch with the person who wrote this?
No, not yet.
Approach him. I think in the most general sense there probably has been a miscarriage of justice. Well, for instance, he might have got a completely suspended sentence. Imprisonment seems pretty harsh to me. Now, whether I can achieve anything in a practical way, that's highly doubtful. But if, bearing in mind the things I've said to you, you want to go ahead and mount some sort of a campaign using the local press's focus, well, then you can say you've been to see me and that you have my full support. More than that, I can't promise. But does it help at all to know I'm sympathetic? Because I am.
It makes a lot of difference, yeah.
Good. Well, it's free George Jackson. I wish you all the very best.